What's going on, everyone? I'm Jaren, and today we are talking about the end of Oak Street. The Platt family bands together to navigate their new surroundings after a cosmic event transports their neighborhood into someplace unknown. Director David Robert Mitchell and producer J.J. Abrams, two polar visionary filmmakers, have emerged on the scene with a collaborative spectacle for the big screen. Now, when it comes to J.J. Abrams, his producing career really took off after that first Cloverfield movie, and it has been rumored that he was going to return to this franchise one day. Over the years, we've gotten sequels, we've gotten spin-offs like 10 Cloverfield Lane, The Cloverfield Paradox. Heck, a lot of people even went as far as to say that the JJ Nazi horror sleeper, Overlord, had connective tissue to the source material. And then we had the official trailer for the end of Oak Street drop on the internet, and then it didn't take long enough for everyone to speculate and to come up with theories that this was another side quest to Cloverfield. Now, I haven't had the chance to check out Under the Silver Lake just yet, but for years, I have been waiting for another midnight hit like It Follows by director David Robert Mitchell. And I was actually excited that he was going to be tackling something this ambitious. And after many attempts at Hollywood to revive the Jurassic franchise or go as far as refreshing and even low budget as Primitive War, I was craving another dinosaur movie. As a millennial, as someone who's a fan of cinema, Jurassic Park means the world to me. And so I really went into this movie with my expectations at a neutral low. And after seeing the movie for myself, I can honestly say that Mitchell goes full Spielberg, where this is more of a family movie at heart, the dinosaurs are scary, and the suspense is absolutely fun. Getting straight into my positives, as we begin this story by unpacking each and every member of the Platt family, I knew right away that I was just a little too generous with my review with Jurassic World Rebirth. The first few moments of the block party really gives the appearance of the perfect suburban white picket fence family unit and immediately unveils the cracks to see how broken our main characters are. I was invested with what this family was going through, how they were going to deal with things far before the neighborhood even goes to shit. Also, the one trope that I'm so relieved that they did not fumble was the brother and sister dynamic. That they weren't necessarily trying to be annoying or mean to each other for the sake of it. They actually cared about each other. Like Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, Anne Hathaway is having quite a year when it comes to big screen blockbusters. And to be honest, I have not checked out Mother Mary nor The Devil Wears Prada 2 just yet, but I thought she was great in The Odyssey. And I'm even more excited to see her psychosexual thriller Verity, which comes out in October. It's funny how you'll just go to watch an Anne Hathaway movie and then they give you the preview for her next project. Here, she really carries the movie, and she has a way of managing to balance out the traits of a badass scream queen and also an emotional, devastated, housewife slash mother who's trying to really hold it down for the family. I mean, there's so many layers to her character that is just brimming to the surface without having to say it out loud, that you can really see it behind her eyes. And even when she's acting across Ewan McGregor, he really compliments how strong her performance is. All right, I'm just gonna flat out say it. This is the movie we should have gotten with Jurassic World Dominion, where the prehistoric creatures clash with the humans in a heavily populated ecosystem. Yes, we got a little bit of that with the third act of The Lost World Jurassic Park, but Dominion skips all the initial mayhem and we get to a point where the humans and the creatures have now acclimated or have become a daily nuisance towards one another. Boring. The dinosaurs in this movie are CGI, but unlike the later Jurassic sequels, the creatures here were a genuine threat that I was freaking out every single time the carnivores had a drop on our Platt family. And the attacks are vicious and gruesome without being visibly graphic, that I'm actually surprised with how much they've gotten away with a PG-13 rating, because it goes hard. There is even a moment in the film, and you'll know it when you see it, but it got the most shocking and most audible reaction out of me. Like, I was like, holy shit. My jaw was on the floor. I could not process what was happening. I was in disbelief, and I was like, oh, that was a choice. There's no specific era of which these dinosaurs are from. If anything, it's kind of a mixed bag between somewhere with the Jurassic, Cretaceous, and Mesozoic periods. And some of the most dark and intense sequences do involve the Allosaurus, the Spinosaurus, and even this one thing called the Titanoboa, which made my skin crawl every single time it showed up. Getting into my mixed opinions, now the science fiction element that is supposed to reveal the what, the why, and the how is this happening to their neighborhood is left ambiguous and a bit sloppy. Like, once we get into the third act, it is immediately trying to wrap things up without so much as to explain some of the details or get into some of the obstacles, and it just feels unearned. I'm not necessarily sure that the results that our characters find themselves in is considered good, or if they're absolutely screwed. Like, I can see a lot of people walking out of the theater really divisive on that ending, but if I'm gonna be honest, it didn't necessarily ruin my viewing experience. These are more nitpicks, but hear me out. I wish the movie was longer. I wish there were some character arcs that got fleshed out even further before they were immediately forgotten. And some of the smaller scenes that made the effort really feel like they were for nothing by the end of it. And what I mean about that is, one example being is that one of our main characters, the youngest boy, he has a bully. He shows up in a few scenes, and there is even a moment where they're trying to kind of add a little bit of a moral, but it really pays off nothing. It had no place. With the amount of carnivores and herbivores just roaming around the neighborhood, I genuinely wanted more conflict between the dinosaurs instead of just waiting for the humans to get caught up in the crosshairs. And also, you know, they were kind of teasing what was beyond Oak Street. I mean, I really wanted to see if our characters would just kind of go out there, a little bit of a journey to the center of the earth situation, but I don't think it would have been the smartest move. Getting into some of my negatives, now, I was not sure if Greg was poorly written, or if things were left on the cutting room floor, or if Ewan McGregor was just sleepwalking through his performance, because as the husband to Hathaway's Denise, he was not a strong character at all. I mean, I thought it would have been awesome if we had gotten Oscar Isaac originally to play Greg, but I can see why he left the project. Now, I really enjoyed Christian Convery in the role of Brian, but there is a moment in the movie, and this is far after we've established that carnivorous creatures are roaming the streets, where he goes looking for his dog in the middle of the night, and he is just blatantly yelling his dog's name where everyone and everything could hear him. And if that wasn't stupid enough, he carries a bow and arrow as his choice of arsenal, and he can't aim or shoot for shit. The boy could not hit water if he fell off a boat. Overall, despite the marketing controversy, the script changes, as well as the production complications, this may have not been a perfect movie, but it very much delivered on exactly what I was hoping for. I mean, I got so used to Universal injecting the Fast and Furious juice into the Jurassic World IP that it was refreshing to feel that scary action in theaters again. I'm also glad that Mitchell got to team up with Mike Giolakis, who was the DP for It Follows once again, and there are some impressive 360-1ers and split diopter shots that had the horror fan in me jumping with joy. While this movie does balance out the drastic tones of horror, humor, and drama, this is a well-rounded popcorn flick that might divide viewers, but really harkens back to the tones and the initial love that I had for movies like the original Jumanji and Jurassic Park. Well, alright guys, that's all I got to share about that movie. Go ahead and check it out if you want to. Look forward to more reviews. I am Jaren, but now we're going to want to thank you guys again for taking some time out of your day to hear me talk some movies. I'll see you guys at the theater. Take care.